What's up, everyone? What is up? What is up, everyone? Hope you guys had a good holiday. Hope you guys had a good holiday. Um, yeah, let's get started. Let's get started. I got quite a few videos for you guys today. Right, interesting videos. You know, I want to start out by talking about we will be talking a lot about feminism tonight, and you know what? I've come to realize that you know I'm a nobody, but if I could do one thing, right, with the rest of my content creating hobby, my pastime, whatever, is to call out feminism, call out the insanity, the delusion, the hypocrisies of feminism, modern day feminism, right? Modern day feminist. If I could do anything, or if I'm going to focus on anything, that's one thing I'm going to focus on. Calling out the BS of modern day feminists. All right. Feminism versus Islam is going to be the battle to see. And really, you know what? That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. I want to see if that, how that turns out. I definitely want to see how that turns out. We'll see. I mean, for me, it's like, I know in America, Islam is still, it's not to the same degree that I'm seeing in the UK. So I don't know if that's going to be the biggest thing for me, but feminism is always a bane of my existence. So we'll definitely, let's see if my focus isn't as much on feminism, but on, the surgence or, of Islam. We'll see. But definitely, I hate feminism. I hate feminists. So, but we'll talk about them. We have a bunch of things to talk about, so let's get started. Real Rain, what is up, my brother? Hope you're doing well today. I hope you're doing well today, my brother. All right, we got a bunch of videos tonight, so let's check out the first one.
Y'all listen. Listen.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was fucking sorry. I wasn't thinking. I'm sorry. Pull over. I'm sorry. That was really bad.
They were doing 70 something miles an hour and she grabbed the steering wheel and yanked it. Then proceeded to just apologize nonstop. She tried to take herself out and him because they broke up. Bro, he is a better man than me. He calmly kept driving. She told me, are you gonna call the cops on me? I don't know, bro. I don't think I got any Chris Brown in me, but some shit like that happened, we gonna see. Cause there's no way I'm driving at highway speed and you yank the steering wheel. And we gotta... Could you imagine if it wasn't late at night with nobody on the highway? Bro, is this not attempted murder? Is this not attempted murder?
We talk about the dangers of men. We like to glance over the dangers of women, right? We like to perceive that women aren't that dangerous. Women aren't that dangerous. Yeah, women are angels. I've said this before. This channel is not about hating women. It's about destroying the propaganda around women. It's about destroying the propaganda about women. 100%. It's about destroying the propaganda. I'm tired that we only think about men are villains, women are angels, women are damsel in distress, men are the predators, women are the victims. I'm tired of that BS. Now, again, I'm not saying that bad shit don't happen to women. No, for sure. Plenty of bad things happen to women. But let's not make women out to be the angels that they're not. Women are not the most benevolent loving whatever creatures on this earth. No, if you're born a woman, it doesn't mean that you're a good person. If you're born a man, it doesn't mean that you're evil. That's not how real world works, okay? That's not how it works. You're not born good or evil. You have the capacity to do anything. It's just how you developed. So it's the characters you got, whatever. Honestly, it's just ridiculous. Here's something that I saw too.
This girl murdered her boyfriend by driving their car 100 miles per hour into a brick wall. Mackenzie Shirilla was sentenced to 15 years to life after she purposefully slammed her foot on the gas pedal of her sedan, speeding it directly into a wall in Strongsville, Ohio in the early morning hours of July 31st, 2022. The impact killed her boyfriend, 20-year-old Dominic Russo, and also his friend, 19-year-old Davian Flanagan. After reviewing the car's computer system and a surveillance camera that caught the 100-mile-per-hour crash, police decided to charge Mackenzie with murder. The teenager held her foot on the gas for 4 to 6 seconds before slamming the car into the side
Red Door, what is up, my sister? What is up?
of a business. Mackenzie and Dominic had a rocky relationship, and she reportedly threatened to key his car just days before this crash. At first glance, this sounds like it could be a split-second decision, but instead, prosecutors said this was premeditated. The judge said, quote, Mackenzie alone made the decision to drive the car. To drive an obscure route, a route she'd visited a few days before. A route not routinely taken by her. The crash was in a secluded area, and it's theorized that Mackenzie chose this so there would be less witnesses and it would take more time for someone to realize that a crash had happened. I'm not saying Dominic deserved this by any means, but I don't understand why she'd do it if there was also a friend in the car. For her selfish actions and taking 2 lives, Mackenzie must serve 15 years to life, meaning that she will serve a minimum of 15 years before she's released on parole, if she's even released.
Women are not angels. Women are not, they are not delicate flowers. They're not. Women can be and have been just as terrible as the men they hate.
Lisa's texting you, not me.
I don't know what you want from me.
Just got this call.
I know.
I just got this call.
Can you pull over into there?
I did a reaction a while ago to this video, so I just wanted to show you again that women are not angels. They're not.
I'm on some dumb.
When he pisses me off, so I grab the steering wheel and make him almost swerve off the road. No shame in saying that. No shame whatsoever. And women love it, right? Women will love it. Guys swear they are wanting a crazy female until I yank that steering wheel while he's driving, all because he raised his voice at me, and I'm sitting there wondering how that's my fault. Toxicity. No shame. No shame in promoting how dangerous you could be. No shame at all. Ain't that something?
What do the women that beat men look like? What do the women...
So funny. It's so funny. Right? Showing off what you look like. What the person, what a
that beat men look like?
What a woman that beats men look like. That's so funny. So much jokes, right? Ain't that? It's so funny. Showing that you are a type of person that would do it. Oh, it's just a joke. It's a joke. Okay. So it's okay that men joke like that as well? Is that okay? Yeah. And then women galore in the comic section, right? Posting that they would do that, right? That they would,
What do the women
all these women that have no problem posting their own picture, no problem showing you that, you know what, the type of women that would harm men. No problem. Let's joke. Because imagine if men did this joke. Imagine that. Peace is women's kryptonite. That's the thing. It's no issue, no problem with showing actual pictures of yourself. Showing actual pictures of yourself. No shame whatsoever.
What do the women that beat men look like?
Ah, yes. Ah, look at that. Ain't
What
that
do
it?
the women that beat men look like?
Women have no issue with showing what they look like under a post that says, what do women that beat men look like? What do they look like? So funny. So very funny. I love it, right?
I come from a long lineage of women who literally beat men, and let me tell you, growing up with my cousins, it was always a good time, because each and every time it was warranted. The first woman in my family that I saw beat a man was actually my great-grandmother. She was in her 60s, and I seen her chase a man down with a machete. And my grandmother gave me and my sister a machete to keep in our apartment whenever my mom was away at work, in the event that someone tried us. Growing up in a Jamaican household, you're always gonna have a machete, or if you're friends with Jamaicans, you're always gonna find a random machete. Just don't touch it. But that was enough to inspire me to not play with men and eventually become a man beater myself. I was always the one testing the boys that would pick on me in school, because it was just like, all right, I can get my cousins to fight you, or I can fight you myself, because my boy cousins actually were fighting me and literally training me to fight. I don't know if you guys watch The Sopranos, but Janice, instead of her breaking up with Richie, she resorted to beating his ass. And I think that was the funniest thing ever, literally tears, laughing, because I was just like, girl, you are so real, because honestly, get him out your house. He's a cheater. And every person that got their ass whooped in my family that was a guy, it was warranted, because they were practicing infidelity, manipulators, cheaters, and just not.
So, men can abuse women now if they cheat out of a woman's mouth. My family, right? My brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters, out of a woman's mouth. If you cheat, you're allowed to get beaten. I didn't say it. A man didn't say it, right? A woman did. If you cheat, you are allowed to, I mean, come on, right? That means it is okay. Not me. This is women, right? This is God. So, to be honest, it's okay, right? It's okay. It's okay for men to, what can I say? I didn't say it. So here on the record, women is saying, you deserve it. My brothers, I'm not promoting it, but out of a woman's mouth, she said it's okay to beat cheaters. Okay.
Loyal. Like, I come from a background of women who always done it on their own, got their job, got their house. So it's like, why would a man be there? And if he decides to still be here, I'm gonna beat your ass. So when I see content about girls saying that they're working out so they could beat their future husband, best believe I'm engaging with that. Like, I don't want to hear, oh, the standards, if it's double standards, if the roles were, I don't want to hear it, because that happens every single day. So I am a proud defender of men beaters. And the reason why I'm talking about this conversation today is because just now, as I was going into my apartment, I was crossing the street, and a car stopped for me to allow me to pass. It was already a red light, so he would just slow down. It's nighttime. It is dark. It is 6 o'clock. Usually I would be like, I don't really have the time to like make eye contact with you, smile, and acknowledge that you stopped your car for me. Like, what is that giving? It's nighttime. This man literally rolls down his window and go, smile. It's okay to smile. So I just keep walking to my door and ignore
Yeah, that was stupid. Okay, it's like I don't.
him. It doesn't help that my entrance to my apartment is literally right across the street. So he sees me entering my apartment. He goes, smile. It doesn't hurt to smile. And I swear to God, it sounded like he was about to come out of his car. And I was just like, is this the moment where I can finally get to be a man's ass? Because he was literally trying it. And I was so close to turning around and cursing this man out. But then I was like, you know what? He already knows where I live. So let me not even engage. But that's the thing with men. Their problem is that they think that we owe them a conversation, acknowledgement, a smile. I don't owe them anything, and neither do you. I literally ignore them and act like they do not exist.
So, it's just, I just, my thing is that it's the hypocrisy, right? Is it okay for men to do certain things to women because of what? I don't know, because she thinks he owes her something. That's like, if you feel justified, is it okay for you to harm someone else? Now, I said this, right? Defending yourself, okay. No, I mean, like, you can take any kind of weapon you want to defend yourself. I'm all for it. All right, I'm all for it. But to be violent with someone because they say you smile, I mean, like, come on, okay? It's just move on. I said that was stupid. I don't know why the man did it. Right? That was idiotic. But it's like, seriously, that's worth a fight. That's worth having a battle over.
Like, my vision is so tunnel vision that they would think they're a ghost literally walking past me. That's how much I don't acknowledge him. So I just continue to ignore him. Because imagine me smiling like, thank you. Either way, he's going to try to have a conversation and be like, oh, come here. No. Like, I don't understand why they always think that we need to smile at them. Like, you guys are not even great to look at. Like, come on now. A jump scare. Let's be fucking for real. Yeah. I can't stand that. Hate that. Hate that catcalling shit. It's not funny. It's not cute. And it's not safe. So leave us the fuck alone.
I agree. I agree. This is the Captain Marvel propaganda that a 100-pound woman thinks she can fight a 175-pound man and win. This kind of ideology is dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Okay? It's like you're better off walking away. Better off walking away. Don't interact. Because if you think if women are trying to promote that you can fight men, it's honestly ridiculous. It really is. Okay? Seeing your grandma carry machete running towards a man. What if he had a pew pew? Is that warranted? Because now he's defending himself? I mean, stop. Shit like this is just honestly ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. I'm tired of this stuff. I really am. Give me a second. And it's this feminist propaganda stuff. Right? I show you the videos. It's the feminist propaganda stuff.
What do the women that beat men look like? Like, what do the women that...
Great joke. Great joking, right? It's like, it's funny until, you know what, men are not scared or men are not holding anything back anymore.
What do the women that beat men look like? Like, what do the women that beat men look like? Like, I hear so much about them, but what do they look like so I know how to avoid them? You feel what I'm saying? What do the women that beat?
No shame in posting your pictures. She, no shame whatsoever. And you wonder why there is a growing percentage of men nowadays. And I mean, at least on showing it, right? On social media and stuff, you're seeing men are not holding back. Men are not holding back.
What do the women that beat men look like? Like,
There's no holding back. Big bars. What is up, my brother?
How old are you?
39 at the end of this month.
What is something you regret the most in your life?
If I was to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't gotten married in my 20s. I think as a man, like, you don't really truly know yourself until you're in your 30s. So that would be something I would do differently.
So what got you into that relationship?
Believe it or not, I met at the gym. She was blonde, beautiful, and she was a pro figure competitor, pro card, just beautiful, strong, gorgeous body, right? And she was just different, and I fell in love.
How long were you with her?
Just shy of 8 years.
Was it hard for you when your marriage ended?
That was probably the hardest thing I've ever done to date, is having the opportunity to think and how I'm going to present this. Dropping that bomb, if you will, on somebody you've spent all this time with and gone through a lot, had some beautiful moments, and there were not some great ones, as you can imagine, but that was the hardest thing I've ever done, dude.
Was there any experience you had with your past wife that had you say, I need to get out of this?
Oh yeah, several. So there's a lot of things, unfortunately, I couldn't come back from during some moments where she wasn't at her best self.
Like things that she said or things that she did?
Physically. A lot of men don't talk about that. I had some few black eyes here and there, and nobody really knew.
So if you could go back in time and give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would you tell him?
Every day the sun comes up, and every day gets better, and you're gonna have to go through really hard stuff, but never quit.
How old are you?
39 at the end of this month.
What is something you regret the most in your life?
The abuse. I believe a lot of men don't talk about it. Right? They don't talk about the abuse. They don't talk about the abuse they suffer. Right? They don't. And I get it, right? It's not a common thing for men. Why would men talk about it? I understand. It's just, that's the thing where suffer. It's just, it's just sad. This is why I said I show you all those videos. Real Rain, thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love, my brother. Difference between feminists and men. Ask a woman if she could change her past, she'll change nothing. Ask a man and he'll change everything. That's the thing. Right? This is the thing where I see men would, want to do improvements, right? A lot of men would regret the past, right? Women, what do they have regretting, right? I would think they have very little to regret.
How old are you? 39 at the end of this month.
What is something you regret the most in your life?
If I was to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't gotten married in my 20s. I think as a man.
Now, I admit, right? What he mentioned about her superficial, I'll say this. I will always say this to men, okay? When you judge anybody, man or woman, right? If a man or woman judge anyone based on superficial qualities, superficial traits, be warned. You didn't choose this person based on deeper qualities. Well, the likelihood is that you'll probably get superficial problems, right? He judged her. He thought she was beautiful. Got with someone that he thought was beautiful. Guess what? She was ugly inside.
And like you don't really truly know yourself until you're in your 30s. So that would be something I would do differently.
So what got you into that relationship?
Believe it or not, I met at the gym. She was blonde, beautiful, and she was a pro figure competitor, pro card, just beautiful, strong, gorgeous body.
Was there any experience you had with your past wife that had you say, I need to get out of this?
Oh yeah, several. So there's a lot of things.
Steve, what is up, my brother? What is up?
Unfortunately, I couldn't come back from during some moments where she wasn't at her best self.
Like things that she said or things that she did?
Physically, you know, a lot of men don't talk about that. I had some few black eyes here and there, and nobody really do.
I think this is a really good example of how two things can be true at the same time. Because when I first started watching this video, I did notice how he was only complimenting his ex-wife's appearance. And I also noticed he said that you don't develop as a man until you're older, but I wonder if he feels the same.
Steve, I love you. Please, guys, hit the like button, all right? Hit the like button. Join if you could. Captain Palsy, what is up, my brother? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Yes, men don't know themselves until their earlier years. I always say this, right? I think experience for men is very important. I think experience for women is a detriment. Because I think men learn better, in my opinion.
About women, or if he's kind of expecting that women should just know who they are when they're younger, but he's allowed to kind of have time to figure out who he is when he's older. But then I kept watching the video, and towards the end, I felt just a lot of sympathy for him when he talked about how she gave him multiple black eyes. And something I noticed was that none of the comments were really mentioning this, or at least the top comments. I was scrolling for a while. There really wasn't anybody saying, hey man, sorry about, your DV, sorry that this happened to you. And basically all of the top comments were just about how they want to hear his wife's side. He wasted 8 years of her life. It was basically all on her side. And I did find that very interesting, because while I do think that this man is probably
I always find this funny, okay? When women are a victim, you don't care about the men's side, right? You don't care about the abuser. You don't care about listening to the abuser. When it's a man, you want to hear the abuser, right? You want to hear the woman's side. That's the hypocrisy of feminism. That's the hypocrisy of modern day women right there.
pretty superficial because he only mentioned his ex-wife's physical characteristics. That doesn't mean that it's right for his ex-wife to give him multiple black eyes. And I do understand that because most women are weaker than men, that it is going to be viewed differently when a man puts his hands on a woman versus when a woman puts her hands on a man. But that still doesn't make it right. And it still doesn't make it something that everyone should just gloss over. When situations like this do happen, where men experience domestic violence from their girlfriends or from their wives or, you know, female partners, a lot of times they feel like they can't go to anybody and they have to stay silent about it. And I do understand that I don't know the full story and she might give a completely different perspective. Maybe he's leaving a lot out. We don't really know. And we can only base it off of what he is saying. I also don't think it's right to immediately assume that that would be the case or that he's lying about it. I do think it's important that if somebody comes to you with their very personal experience of this happening to them, that you should believe them. And I do think this is a good example of women saying that they want men to be vulnerable, but then they kind of...
For me, I would say this, right? Should you believe them? In my opinion, no. But do they have a voice? Yes. Right? You don't have to believe someone. You don't have to believe someone. But you can allow them to have a voice. I would say that at least, okay? To believe someone is to honestly just blindly trust other people. And I think that's not needed, man or woman, okay? I do believe in evidence should be the key, okay? Even if a man, right, he got black eyes, but he never took a picture of it. He never, reported it. I'm sorry. Even for a man, if you never reported it, what is there to trust? It's your word against hers. Plain and simple. This is the thing where my logic is consistent. Okay. If you are a man and you gotten abused by your woman, but yet you don't report it, you don't take any evidence of it, it's like, again, it's just your word. I don't know you. So why would I believe you? I don't know your character. I don't know your principle. I don't know what type of person you are. So if I'm to be consistent, I don't believe people just off the bat. But here's the thing. I don't just say that you are wrong. I don't say that you are wrong off the bat. Okay. You are allowed to have a voice. You're allowed to put your opinions, your story out there. doesn't mean that you are allowed to be believed, right? But the same token is not like you'll be disbelieved, right? It's just you gotta be, you're innocent until proven guilty kind of thing. Tim, what is up, my brother?
To decide how they want to react to it based off of how much they like the man or not. That now, because he is a little bit superficial, that undermines his experience. And then people wonder why men don't really open up about their struggles or weaknesses or experiences, because clearly a lot of times a lot of people don't care. They decide based on how much they like you or not, whether they care. That's my personal opinion. It might be unpopular, but let me know what you guys think. Bye.
What do you guys think?
I'm going to go ahead and
All right, we are going to move. We're going to move to the main video of tonight. All right, this will be interesting. I think big bars. We got to pick better. 100%, right? If I hold women accountable, you got to hold men accountable. At the end of the day, you chose her. I will say the same thing, right? Both sides, 100%. See, this is what I'm saying, right? My chat, my followers, my subscribers, they are about accountability. It isn't about hating women. It's about accountability, 100%. No, true. Men don't really gain anything from being. I agree. I do agree. Men don't really gain anything from talking about abuse. So I definitely agree to that. All right. So this is a quite a few videos for this one. I said this before. If I can do anything with my content, it is to call out feminism. It is to call out modern day feminists. I believe modern day feminists are the poison of our society. I think if you could think about any problem, right? Any problem in our society, it will link back to modern day feminists. Family, modern day feminism. Dating, modern day feminism, right? You can name it whatever. Politics, modern day feminists. Okay? Societal problems, modern day feminists. They are the root of almost any and every problem we have today. Modern day feminists are the poison of our society. So if I can do anything, if I can't stamp out modern day feminists, because I know I can't, right? But I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call modern day feminism out. You said you said feminism 3 times, so Alan about to show up. Yeah, could be, But yeah, I'm definitely gonna call them out. All right, let's check out this craziness.
I'm going to go ahead and say what I'm going to go ahead and say what no one else is willing to say. So if you're a lover girl or a mediocre man, go ahead and click off this video because you won't like it, or you can cry in the comments. In order for us to achieve peace on planet Earth and get the things that we want to get out of this life, we're going to have to delete 90% of men. Yes, that includes your awful baby daddy and your ancient father. So if I was president of the universe, we would literally structure society so that we can finally achieve a matriarchy. But in order to do that, we have to get rid of most men because let's just face it, most men are not going to change. There's literally not enough time on planet Earth to change the heart of a trash man, and there's nothing you can do. We would literally need the second coming of Christ in order to change some of these men on this planet. And so what I am suggesting is that we literally get rid of them using the science that we already have. Elon Musk has said that by the year 2031, we will be able to support life on planet Mars. So I'm suggesting that we ship 90%, the bottom 90% of men to Mars so that we can achieve the patriarchy. And what does that leave us with? That leaves us with the top 10% of men, 5% of which are the men who are loyal to their wives and devoted husbands. And the other 5% are the men who have amazing gene pool, great IQ, good bone structure, good hair, skin, tall, fine as fuck. You know what I'm talking about. So since 2031 is a couple years away, that gives us enough time to decide what are the traits that we want to keep from the men on planet Earth and how do we want to repopulate the planet. We can have sporting competitions to decide who is the most athletic. We can have mental competitions to see who is the smartest, the best IQ. We can have social competitions to decide who has the best heart and who is the most emotionally viable. But if we want to actually have a chance to fight as a matriarchy and become the great planet that we know we can be, we have to get rid of 90% of men in order to do this. And that means you're going to have to detach from the idea of everyone getting a soulmate, because that's just not realistic. Now,
Evil Eddie, what's up, my brother? I missed you. How you been, my brother? I hope you had a good holiday. I did miss you. How have you been? What you been up to, my brother?
after we've gotten rid of 90% of men, you probably are.
Red Door, you must love this woman, right? You spent like what, a good deal of your life, your career combating this craziness. So you must love her.
Asking, Ace, what do we do after that? Now we got all these women on this planet. What are we going to do? I am suggesting that we begin to rebuild our societies centering around women, children, and the elderly, meaning our housing complexes need to literally be built in a circle, supporting children in the center and having the rest of the society, the rest of the neighborhoods be built around this. Now you're probably wondering, well, we got rid of all the men. Who's going to do our construction work? We can literally 3D print our houses if we want to, or we can have strong women do the work. If you know anything about strong women, a strong woman is as good as a man, as competent as a man. And the best part about women is that not only can they be strong and competent, but they can also produce more men if we need to. Except this time the men will have great genes because we weeded out all of the bad gene pool. And I know some of you out there are thinking, well, what happens with all of the men that we send to Mars? What are they going to do up there? I don't know. I mean, they probably want to smash each other. So we should just let them do their thing and create their own societies, their own communities, their own brotherhood if they want to. They can go play soccer or do whatever they want. I just don't think that we can have them on our planet if we want a chance at survival as women who have power. And if you have other suggestions on how we can rebuild a matriarchy on planet Earth, let me know in the comments. Oh, and one last thing, having money as a man does not qualify you to be on the matriarchy of planet Earth. So we can go ahead and get rid of that myth that having money as a man makes you better, because literally it's your gene pool. What genes were you born with and how can you be useful to the matriarchy? On planet Earth, as a matriarchy, we literally don't need money anymore. So you're dismissed. I'm going to go ahead.
You guys love her. You guys love it, right? You guys love the insanity. I know you guys love it. I know you guys love this insanity. Let's break this down. Let's break this stupid shit down. Real rain, my brother. Thank you for the love. Does this woman agree with certain painters' philosophy and not realize it? This is a thing where this woman, to be honest, this woman agrees to the patriarchy. This woman agrees to the men that have been throughout history. What's the difference between this and, let's say, Hitler? What's the difference? Right? Right? The what is it? The top race? Right? Women are above men? Oh. So when the man himself, right? The man himself thought that, you know, the white German race was above all else, and centered around that. Now here's this woman that believes women are above everything else. What's the difference between that? Let's break this down.
Ahead and say what no one else is willing to say. So if you're a lover girl or a mediocre man, go ahead and click off this video because you won't like it, or you can cry in the comments. In order for us to achieve peace on planet Earth and get the things that we want to get out of this life, we're going to have to delete 90% of men. Yes, that includes your awful baby daddy and your ancient father. So if I was president of the universe, we would literally structure society so that we can finally achieve a matriarchy. But
Let's see this, right? Let's even hypothetical. She's the president of the earth. Okay. She's the president of the earth. Are men willingly leaving? That's hypothetical. The 5% of men. The 5% of men that is under her, that she controls. The 5% of men, she said 95% of men, right? So the 5% of men she controls are going to do what to the 95% of men? And I swear to God, right? Let's say John Jones, right? I mean, if you guys know John Jones, probably one of the goats of MMA, right? He's probably one of the goats of MMA. John Jones. He is not beating. John Jones is not beating 20 men. He's not. He's not beating up 20 men. Let's say even if you have 100 John Jones, 100 John Jones, right? The man is absolutely the GOAT of MMA. You can have 100 John Jones. He is not beating 1,000 fat men. Like 1,000 fat men. No. Let's say 100 to, let's say 100,000 fat men. John Jones is not beating 100,000 fat men. He's not. It's like, yes, he has beaten up women.
in order to do that, we have to get rid of most men because let's just face it, most men are not going to change.
She's not even saying how you get rid of them. She's just saying how, I mean, what are you going to do with the men, right? Send them to Mars. Do you believe men are just going to go willingly? You could be the president of the world. Means nothing. Right? Means nothing.
Literally not enough time on planet Earth to change the heart of a trash man, and there's nothing you can do. We would literally need the second coming of Christ in order to change some of these men on this planet. And so what I am suggesting is that we literally get rid of them using the science that we already have. Elon Musk has said that by the
Elon Musk, the science you have is by a man, right? The science you have is by a man. Literally, you didn't even talk about a woman. You didn't even bring up a woman. You just said Elon Musk, a man. It's like, are you dense? Are you dense? You're talking about Elon Musk while like, seriously, is he not a man?
Year 2031.
Fiona, what is up? What is up? I'm good. Hope your holidays are well.
We will be able to support life on planet Mars. So I'm suggesting that we ship 90%
Why don't you ship 90% of women to Mars then? Or no, I'm not saying 90% of women. Why don't you ship all modern feminists to Mars? Why don't you do that? Why don't you ship women like this to Mars so they can rebuild it? I didn't check yet. Right? I've been busy with other stuff. Let's start project take phones away. I agree. Let's start that.
Bottom 90% of men to Mars so that we can achieve the patriarchy. And what does that leave us with? That leaves us with the top 10% of men. 5% of which are the men who are loyal to their wives and devoted husbands. And the other 5% are the men who have amazing gene pool.
So 5% of men are going to share the majority of women. I'm like kind of the insanity in that. 5% of men. This is feminism for you. Right? 5% of men will share the majority of women. What is it? a million women to every man, a million women to like every man, or a couple 100,000 to a couple 100,000 women to every man. That's feminism for you. She didn't think about that. So 5% of men will share the majority of women. Laughing man, what is up, my brother? What is up? Fiona, you could send whatever you want through my Instagram, okay? Send whatever you want through my Instagram. It's kind of funny. Like, this is the thing where women here are promoting that other women be shared by men. And you talking about loyal men? You're talking about loyal men. It's like insane to me. Absolutely utter insane. You talk about loyal men. Yet you want women to be shared by a few men. Makes so much sense.
Great IQ, good bone structure, good hair, skin, tall, fine as fuck. You know what I'm talking about. So since 2031 is a couple years away, that gives us enough time.
Good genetics. Good genetics. I think there was a man from Germany. I think there was a man from Germany that thought the same. What was his name? What was the man from Germany that wanted to get rid of people that he didn't deem have good genetics? I wonder. What was he? What was he? I wonder what he was. Interesting. What was that man? I don't know if you, Fiona, I don't know if you can see it, right? This is my Instagram. All right. Isn't that funny? Hypergamy. Exactly. Hypergamy. The insanity in that. Here's a woman that would be no better. Right. The insanity of that. Here's a woman that would be no better than a fascist. No better than a fascist. Oh, I mean, like, insanity, isn't it? Isn't her ideology kind of fascism, dictatorship? Right? Dictatorship. Forcing a group of people you don't like, right? To what? Like, if you can't, let's say if you can't get these men to, Mars, what are you going to do with them? Eugenics? Right? Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Time to decide what are the traits that we want to keep from the men on planet Earth and how do we want to repopulate the planet. We can have sporting competitions to decide who is the most athletic. We can have mental competitions to see who is the smartest, the best IQ. We can have social
Oh, so you want men to perform for you. Your dictatorship is going to force men to perform for you, like they're entertainment for you. But you can choose. I find it funny. If women got power, there would be no different than the worst men throughout history. Right? If women had power, there would be no different than the worst men throughout history. Interesting.
competitions to decide who has the best heart and who is the most emotionally viable. But if we want to actually have a chance to fight as a matriarchy and become the great planet that we know we can be, we have to get rid of 90%.
If a man said this about women, you think he'll be amazing, right? You think he'll be called I don't know. You think he would not be called misogynistic? You think women would support him?
of men in order to do this. And that means you're going to have to detach from the idea of everyone getting a soulmate, because that's just not realistic. Now, after we've gotten rid of 90% of men, you probably are asking, Ace, what do we do after that?
I also think it's funny that, you know, women are already having a hard time finding a man, right? Women are already having a hard time finding a man. Now you want to set it where there's only 5% of men. So, to be honest, the majority of women, their lineage will die out. Sounds amazing to women. Sounds amazing for women.
Now we got all these women on this planet. What are we going to do? I am suggesting that we begin to rebuild our societies centering around women, children, and the elderly, meaning our housing complexes need to literally be built in a circle supporting.
Who's going to build those housing complexes? Who's going to maintain everything? Who's going to maintain it? Who's going to build this utopia that women are clamoring about, that this dictator is talking about? Who's going to maintain it and build it?
Children in the center, and having the rest of the society, the rest of the neighborhoods be built around this. Now you're probably wondering, well, we got rid of all the men. Who's going to do our construction work? We can literally 3D print our houses if we want to, or we can have strong women do the work.
Strong women do the work. So you're going to put the labor of the majority of shit. What the fuck, man? So you're going to put the majority of labor on a few women. A few women, the majority of labor on a few women. Dictatorship. Plus, at the end, she said money don't matter. So the majority, these few women, take that. So all these few women, the strong women are going to do all this labor for free. Makes sense.
You know anything about strong women? A strong woman is as good as a man, as competent as a man. And the best part.
Okay, let me I could give her that, right? I'll give her that. A strong woman is as competent as a man, as strong as a man. Fine, I'll give her that. How many are there? How many are these strong women out there? How many? How many? You gotta think this. She's the dictator of the earth, right? She's the dictator of the earth. Worldwide, how many strong women will there be?
Part about women is that not only can they be strong and competent, but they can also produce more men if we need to.
Produce more men. Do you know? Here's a woman that's honestly low IQ as shit. Produce more men. Do you know how long that would take? So in the meantime, that takes you what? 20 years? 20 years about? So what are you doing in the meantime? Like, yeah, who's going to be oil drilling? Who's going to be building everything? Who's going to be maintaining anything?
Except this time the men will have great genes because we weeded out all of the bad gene pool. And I know some of you
weeded out the bad gene pool. Do you not think that women have amazing genes themselves? So a man with good gene dealing with a woman that has bad genes, you think automatically they will have good genes? Not how things work. Special forces and military, yes, there's like 0 women
out there are thinking, well, what happens with all of the men that we send to Mars? What are they going to do up there? I don't know. I mean, they probably want to smash each other. So we should just let them do their thing and create their own societies, their own communities, their own brotherhood if they want to. They can go play soccer or do whatever they want. I just don't think that we can have them on our planet if we want a chance at survival as women who have power. And if you have other suggestions on how we can rebuild a matriarchy on planet Earth, let me know in the comments. Oh.
Artie, what's up, my brother?
And one last thing, having money as a man does not qualify you to be on the matriarchy of planet Earth. So we can go ahead and get rid of that myth that having money as a man makes you better, because literally it's your gene pool. What genes were you born with, and how can you be useful to the matriarchy? On planet Earth, as a matriarchy, we literally don't need money anymore. So you're dismissed. I'm going to go ahead and say,
you don't. Give me a second. Sorry about that. And money don't mean nothing. You make it seem like women do things out of their good heart. No money needed. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes absolute sense. It's gonna be chaos.
after we've gotten rid of 90% of men, you probably are asking, Ace, what do we do after that? Now we got all these women on this planet. What are we going to do? I'm suggesting that we begin to rebuild our societies centering around women, children, and the elderly, meaning our housing complexes need to literally be built in a circle, supporting children in the center and having the rest of the society.
Who's building that? Right? Designed it? Yeah, probably women can design it. Great. Who's building that?
The rest of the neighborhoods be built around this. Now, that's handled. Let's talk about the actual idea of maintaining a matriarchy. I believe that in our new societies, we can, to protect our, we can build to
sustainable matriarchal society.
Town centers that communicate that this is a place for care and the support of human life.
In this short series, I present to you an initiative for a sustainable matriarchal society. An initiative I call the Asset Project. The Asset Project is a solution-based model for an ideal society, one designed with life, care, and continuity at its core. Rooted in matriarchal principles, the Asset Project serves as a fundamental building block for long-term sustainability. Asset communities are intentionally structured to protect its most vulnerable while supporting the entire social and ecological ecosystem. Through regenerative architecture, feminine design principles, and shared access to essential resources, the Asset Project demonstrates how society can be designed.
Women are funny.
To sustain life rather than strain it. Asset is an integral component of our mission and the source of its inspiration. She is the embodiment of continuity. Asset is not the beginning of life. She is the reason life does not end. She is a divine womb personified, not the spark of creation.
5% of men, 5% of men, right? 5% of single men is it's going to breed the future. So essentially, the 5% of men are going to share most women, right? Women, I don't know, a couple 100,000 to every one man. Makes sense.
But the environment that allows the spark to survive, grow, and be carried forward. As the matriarchal force that gave birth to this project, I said defines its purpose, structure, and direction. Our mission is aligned with hers, and through that alignment, we are guided toward fulfillment. In the following video,
the TV show The Island by we've done we watched that before. Women are not gonna last.
So a lot of you ladies liked my other video where I talked about how we can actually build a matriarchy. So you guys gave me a lot of ideas, and now my brain is just going off with so many different possibilities of what we can actually do to get this.
So we're going to look into it, right? Let's look at this woman's idea of how to build a matriarchy. Come on, let's check out this insanity.
Started. Number one, the end goal is to send 90% of men to Mars, but I recognize that we can't do that in the beginning because we just don't have enough power as a collective. And who's going to actually enforce the law of drafting men to go to Mars if all of our leaders currently are male? Most leaders of the nation.
Let's give you a hypothetical scenario. All leaders are female. Let's hypothetical scenario. All women, right? All the leaders of all nations of the world are female. Okay. So now what? If your dictator leader tells you, like your whole population of men, I want all of you to go on that ship so you can leave our nation. Okay. That includes the soldiers, the police officers, and all the average men. Okay. Who's going to force them? All the female leaders? How? How are they going to do it? How are these women who are the leaders of all these nations going to force men to do what men don't want to do? How? Because I'm giving you, right, the benefit of the doubt. If all nations on this earth switched and became female, like Congress, all women, the president, a woman, every position of power is a woman. Okay, great. Now what? How are you going to force men to do what men don't want to do? How? Real Rain, thank you for all the love tonight. Women collectively at this point in human history could have bought property, built this matriarchy. They didn't, so that lets know they don't really want to. Yes. Today, right? Today, women collectively could buy an island. I just, like, seriously, I saw, there are people, companies buying islands. Women can do it. They just don't want to do it.
In on our globe are male. So
Captain Policy is correct. If men wanted to take back a position of power, because like I said, hypothetically, we give women all the power, right? We give women all the positions of power. Cool. Let's see what women do. But then women said, "Oh, you know what? I want all the men in our nation to go on this plane, this spaceship, and we're going to send you off to outer space." How are you going to force these men to do it? There are not enough women military, right? Enough women in the military to force men to get on these spaceships.
So we have to build power slowly. So there's two ways we can do that. We can either colonize someone else's country, or we can build our own community in someone else's country. I'm going to suggest the latter because I know most of you ladies want to stay away from violence. So there's two.
Stay away from violence too. You want to stay away from violence. You want to stay away from violence, yet you want to make 90% of men leave on a spaceship. Makes sense.
Countries that I actually recommend we start building our community in, and this community has to be a community where we are comfortable and we feel safe, secure, so that we can do our best good and be devoted to our own purpose, which is ultimately, I think, saving planet Earth from male domination. I think Portugal is a good place to go. The only thing about Portugal is that it's connected to the West, and the West is dominated by the patriarchy and patriarchal thinking. Another area is somewhere in Southeast Asia. I think Bali would be really good because the Indonesian people already have a deep-rooted respect for the feminine, and they are still intact with their ancient spiritual practices. So a lot of us will feel safe and at home in somewhere like Bali. And someone else in the comments recommended that we have an online matriarchy first. I actually think having an online matriarchy to unite all the women across the globe would be a great idea. But remember, our bodies are still like our most important asset. So if our bodies are not protected in a physical location, we haven't fully achieved a matriarchal society. So we actually do need to figure out like what location on planet Earth do we want to be in and where do we want to build and establish power. And then we can talk about actually going for legal rights and petitioning and stuff like that. And you might be saying, Ace, well, this is a very male dominated way of thinking, trying to like go to someone else's country and take over and establish your own community. But my thing is this: if you understand that Earth is under an existential threat to male domination because of the way they were mining, the way they were polluting our planet, chopping down trees, deforestation, and harming communities.
Deforestation, all the crap she said, while living in a house that came from deforestation, using a phone that equated to mining rare earth materials. The hypocrisy there. Using the phone that you have to mine the earth for rare earth materials to make that phone she's using to record her rebellion. Ain't that something?
Would make sense for us to say that we actually have to fight against this in our lifetime, and it's okay to gain power. What's not okay is to abuse power, and I think more women.
It's okay to gain power. Fun. Women are funny as shit. Women are so funny. They pretty much essentially promoting that be no different than men.
Need to step into our power and decide how can we put our resources together to actually make a change for ourselves and for our potential children if we choose to have them. And while we actually get all of our resources and ideas together, I started a petition that you can sign if you are ready to send 90% of men to Mars. So go ahead and click the link in my bio and sign up for that. Sign your signature.
A link to
sign if you are ready to send 90% of men to Mars. So
a petition to send 90% of men to Mars. Ain't that interesting? You know what? I may sign it. I mean that'd be funny.
Yes, Luigi, step into the circle. You've been summoned. So I actually think this is really cool. If we could actually start recommending men that could be a part of the patriarchy.
It's like women trying to create fan fiction. It's like this is the funniness of women. Okay, this is the funniness of women. They just want to create fan fiction, right? It's like, oh, this is something to do in the pastime. No action whatsoever. But let's just make some fan fiction.
I think it would be cool to see like who you guys recommend and to like see their character, what they've done, and how they could be useful to our planet. Like, let's start with Luigi. Why not? He did something great for humankind. He deserves a position, of course.
So a man that murders someone, right, for whatever reason, he's okay in your society. A man that murders someone he believes is evil is okay. You know something that I find funny? A lot of the men that have murdered people in their life, they found evil. They found, a threat to them, right? Because terrible men that resorts to violence will create whatever scenario they want to create to justify their evilness. But hey, a man that murders is okay. Makes sense.
Who would you guys recommend to be a part of the matriarchy? Me personally, I'm going to recommend my uncle. I think he's a great man. He's done wonderful things for our family, and he's the reason why I can be able.
Says she's on magic. She's on something. I mean, she looks crazy as shit.
To breathe and just like walk in my purpose. So I want to know what. So some of you guys called it eugenics when I said that we should delete 90% of men from planet Earth and send them to Mars. And what I'm suggesting is that if we want to achieve peace on Earth, we need to figure out what to do with our male population that is committed to destructing and destroying our planet. And I want to push back on that by addressing this comment where she said, as a disabled woman, I would like my matriarchal society without eugenics. So eugenics is the idea that a society can improve the quality of its population by controlling who is allowed to reproduce. Now, what I'm suggesting is more along the lines of artificial selection, where we decide what traits we want to move forward in our society, kind of in the
same thing. It's actually the same thing.
Same way that nature does this naturally.
This is a great rabbit hole. I mean, it is a rabbit hole. Right, we're going down this women's insane views of the world
over a long period of time. So there's two different fronts here. There's the actual process of purging our planet of the men who want to destroy it, and there's also the process of maintaining a matriarchy. And I think we should be looking at these as two separate events. The first thing I am suggesting is that we send 90% of men to Mars. I believe that we can actually do this in a way that allows them to come up with the idea first, since if you look at what's happening on X with Elon and his campaign to occupy Mars, I believe that men who are following him and that whole manosphere are already
90% of men are not following Elon Musk. 90% of men are not Redpill. Like, seriously, to be honest, the men that are actually, let's say, Redpill are small percent of men. Like, the amount of men that are Redpill are a minority of men.
aligned with the idea of going to another planet, and we can actually use that momentum in our favor to get men who are not interested in partaking in a matriarchy to colonize another planet if they want to. And when you think about it, there are many men, the bottom 90%, who may not even
the bottom 90%. Who are you saying that 90% of men are at the bottom? Who are you to say that 90% men are at the bottom? 90% of men. The majority of men are at the bottom. No, the majority of men are at the middle. The majority of men are in the middle of society. Right? That's not how it works. The small percent of men are at the top. Small percent of men are at the bottom. Majority of men are at the middle.
Be connected with a collective purpose. They may be lacking brotherhood. We already know that the male loneliness epidemic is rampant. So would these men be incentivized to put on an astronaut suit, hop into a spaceship, and go on a 6 to 9 month journey to planet Mars?
Oh yeah, that helps loneliness. That helps loneliness. Let's go to a planet occupied by nobody, right? 6 to 7 months journey or whatever of loneliness. That helps.
I think so.
You think
Just for the record, I'm not suggesting that we harm anyone with violence, but what I am suggesting is that we move our society here on planet Earth in a different direction and allow and strongly suggest the option for people to colonize.
Like a strongly worded letter. You're going to do a strongly worded letter to every man. You must get on this ship to Mars. You need to do it. You have to do it. I'm telling you, you must do it. Right? Because you are the 90% of bottom feeding men. Right?
As on Mars, particularly the men and select women like Bonnie Blue. Now, that's handled. Let's
So, so you are going to send women up there too. You want to send women that you don't like also to Mars. Wow, this woman is honestly sounding like a dictator. What's the difference between her and all the terrible men throughout history? What's the difference? You know, this is a thing where I don't know if this study is how true, right? But there's a study out there that women have, female leaders have started more wars, right? Female leaders have started more wars than male leaders. This is what I've heard, right? This is what I've heard. So that's the insanity of it.
Let's talk about the actual idea of maintaining a matriarchy. I believe that in our new societies, we can have a center in the middle that supports children, mothers, elderly, and the disabled. And we can make it to where the center of our societies are designed to give and receive care to protect our most vulnerable population. And we can have it to where instead of building our societies the way the patriarchy does it, which is to build up using a hierarchy, we can build around and outward, so where the most competent, healthiest people are designed and positioned in the outskirts of the circle, so that the people that are most vulnerable to the elements, to outside invaders, are protected. And so that we actually have city centers or town centers that communicate that this is a place for care and the support of human life. And after our
see, Evil Eddie. This is why I love my my brothers, right? Research suggests that historically, female rulers, queens, were statistically more likely to initiate wars than male rulers, kings, between the 15th and 20th century.
Planet is purged, and we actually have towns that protect disabled, elderly, children, and mothers. We don't necessarily need to go through another purge, because we already have a system in place that elects for people to move to Mars if they so choose to. By the way, I'm also disabled, so I believe that
I think she's mentally disabled.
We can actually create a society that not only protects disabled people, but actually utilizes disabled people and their own skills, gifts, and talents as well. I mean, if you could type this to me, you're definitely useful. And even if you couldn't type this to me, your existence proves that you are useful to our greater good. It's just that because of the current society that we operate in, we do not have a place for disabled people. But in a matriarchy, your place is in the center with the children and the mothers and the elderly, or the places where we actually
seems like she only cares about elderly women, right? I think she only cares about elderly women.
Protect human life. But if you guys want to discuss more topics like this that are more intricate and have nuance, we can discuss them in the Gentle Woman Circle Discord linked in my bio. So go join that. Hi, Dusty. There are no single mothers in a matriarchy because we actually come together as a community and support the people who give life. So by doing that, we actually eradicate the case of anyone being a single mother or single father, because the entire society is built around supporting life. That is why a matriarchy makes sense, especially for...
You know, this is a thing where this is why you can see how damaged these women are. You know, it's like, these are the women that are honestly extremely traumatized, and in my opinion, particularly by their own choices in life. They've been traumatized. They lack accountability, and they blame they blame the world, particularly they blame men for their problems.
Today, where we need healing.
Captain Palsy, exactly.
For our communities and for our cities and for our towns. So no, we are not putting the blame on single mothers because their fathers were not there, or the fathers that they chose decided to desert them. That is not the case in a matriarchy, because we are already planning that producing life is the most important thing that you can do as a person. And so we are already planning to come together and support children in the middle of our circles. Unlike a patriarchy where the middle of the town is usually the finance center where people go to gain resources and eventually hoard those resources and keep them away from a population of people, we are actually planning and being proactive about who we serve in the matriarchy. Hi, Dusty. There are no single mothers in. Instead of deleting that.
I always think it's funny that women don't even do that now, right? Women don't even get together now to support single mothers. Women, this is the thing I find it funny, right? We talked about this earlier. Women can do a lot of this right now, right? Women can do a lot of this right now. If, let's say this, right? If this woman can gather, let's say hypothetically, she can gather, let's say, 10,000 women. I mean, in her comment sections, I mean, like, her first video, right? Her first video got 184,000, views, right? Her first video got 184,000 views. Her first video, right? The first video I showed you. If she can get 100,000 of those women, 100,000 of those women to gather together, you can buy a town. You can buy a town, right? Hell, I think you could buy an island. I mean, like, every woman chip in, like, I don't know, 5,000, 10,000, I don't know. You can buy a town, right? Where you can build your society yourself, right? Demolish all the buildings there, right? Because you own that town. Demolish all those buildings there. Rebuild your society, right? Rebuild it. I mean, you could do it because you just don't want to do it. You're incapable of doing it. All those things that she's saying, that women can do now. Get together, right? Raise the kids, right? As a female collective, they can do that now. They don't do it. Or if they do, they do it incompetently.
90% of men from the population of Earth. Some people have recommended 4B and also only giving birth to female children. The problem that I have with both of these techniques is that they don't get to the root of the issue, is that there is a male population on planet Earth that is here to destruct and destroy.
Now, I forgot what it was, right? There was an island, right? A woman, a millionaire, right? I think she's a millionaire or a billionaire, okay? She bought an island, right? And she only allowed women on that island. But for that island, she had to bring men into it to fix it up. She had to bring men into that island to do the infrastructure. Okay? After men did that, right? After men did all that stuff, right? Llama's Nation, what is up? Yeah, you could write the joke. After she did that, I think months later, she had to, again, women's rights. I agree. She had to now call in men to come and maintain the infrastructure of that island.
Destroy. And if we cut off access to our bodies, what will they end up doing? They will try to grape us. There are red pill communities and WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups where they are actively discussing how they can grape their grandmas, their cousins, their nieces.
That is not red pill groups, okay? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of women like this, where they want to use the ugliest of men, like the most terrible of men. And she saw that island as a failure? Really? I didn't know that. Funny. Women want to use the worst of the worst men to pretty much describe all men. Majority of men. It's honestly disgusting. It really is.
People in their families because they do not have access to the female body. So just because we decide that we are not going to be sexually active with this male population, that does not mean that the male population won't be sexually active with us. And that is why I am suggesting that as this whole idea, this red pill concept, and as the manosphere grows, we are going
That is not part. That's not a part of the manosphere. That's not a part of red pill content. Talking about what woman to abuse, right? That honestly utter BS. Men are not getting around, right? Red pill men, manosphere men are not, getting into groups to talk about, oh, what women should I abuse today? No, men aren't doing that, right? Not men in this area, in these, no, it's not, right? It's loser men who don't understand accountability, who don't understand bettering themselves, who don't understand respecting themselves, loving themselves. Not those men, right? It's not men that understands, right, being the best version of yourself, that don't blame others for your life. Right? It's not that. It's the weak men that blame everyone else but themselves for their life. It's the men that enjoy hurting other people, the men that enjoy the destruction of the world. It's, to be honest, I like this, right? We've heard all these women's video, right? This woman's video. She's essentially that. She's essentially that. She is the incel, the femcel. Right? If she was a man, imagine this. If she was a man, everything she said, let's flip it, right? From women to men. All the things she said. If she was a man, do you think people who listen to what she said would that not make it seem like she's an incel? Right? Would that not make her seem like she's have toxic masculinity? If everything she said, switch it up between switch it up from women to men, switch it up, and then men to women, like switch it up. Would not people would think that what she said was incel behavior, was misogynistic behavior, right? Literally that. Okay, saying that, oh, let's get rid of women, or let's have women let's have women perform for us, only top quality women. Let's get rid of the bottom percent of women. Ain't that something?
To have to eradicate our planet of these men, the bottom 90%. Because over time, the bottom 90% is just not going to be chose for reproduction. They are going to be lonely. And what happens when men get lonely? They get angry and anxious, and they start to take out their anger on others.
90% of men are not lonely. 90% of... This is why women don't understand math. I really believe women don't understand math, statistics, logic. 90% of men are not lonely. Are not... Honestly, the IQ on women is just... The IQ on feminist women is insane.
They're people. So to address this comment, 4B works, support systems that focus on women and children, build systems that create community for single moms. I totally agree with that. We have to support motherhood as one of the most important jobs that you can do. And I feel like you should only be a mother if you feel like it is genuinely your purpose and your calling to birth a child. And everyone else can also support the idea of partaking in a child's journey, but that doesn't mean that we all have to be mothers. So yes, we should be coming forward together and supporting single motherhood. But as far as 4B being the only option, I still believe that that keeps us vulnerable to the rest of the male population that want to grape us. And if you want to talk about more issues like this in depth, join the Gentlewoman Circle Discord.
This woman is...
When I said we should send 90% of the male population to planet Mars, you guys were DMing me how we should write a book or how I should make it into a movie. And I thought that was really cool until I had this one interrupted thought. If every time we as women get a really good idea and we decide how can we turn it into some creative effort that is in fiction, planted in fiction, how are we actually going to see the real change happen in our society? I mean, I see it all the time. The most powerful women in the world are either on a stage dancing or they're creating something that is used for the public consumption. But how can we actually channel our power into useful change for the world, the new world that we want to see? That's why I'm really iffy about turning my ideas into some work of fiction, because I want to see these changes happen in my lifetime. On my deathbed, I want to say that I did the work that I could do.
your idea is nothing new, right? I think since the start of feminism, plenty of women have thought exactly like this woman. Since the start of feminism, plenty of women have thought exactly like this woman. What she's saying is nothing new. It's not an original idea, right? What she's saying isn't an original idea. So you wonder why women have never accomplished this bullshit. Why? Because it's bullshit. One, women will not get together as a collective to do something this stupid. Okay. Two, women cannot maintain this kind of idea, nor could they create said idea. Even if women get together right now, let's hypothetically, a million of these delusional feminists get together. A million. Buy a city, buy a town, right? Buy a town. They're not going to be able to, one, create, right? Build said town. Two, they're not going to be able to maintain said town. Three, they're not going to be able to protect said town. So this is the insanity of so many women. You need men. I mean, again, unless you want, I mean, again, even if you buy an island, right? Who's going to ship a million women to an island? You're going to need a man. Who's going to ship material? Who's going to build your freaking island? You're going to need a man. Everything in life, women will need men. Women are just so entitled today because her house, right, is already built by a man. Her clothes is already built by men, right? Her phone is already built by men, right? Everything she's enjoying, the water that she uses is built by men, right? The plumbing is built by men. The electricity that she's using to light her video, to charge her phone, is maintained and built by men. So this is why you can have the hypocrisy, the insanity, the delusion to say all the stupid shit you could say, when honestly, you are benefiting from the works of men. You're benefiting from the works of men throughout history. To be honest, I don't know how many. I doubt very few.
To actually move towards us building a matriarchy on planet Earth. And this brings me back to the Barbie movie, which was a great film, if you ask me. In that film, there's a black president who has all this power and is so radiant in her display of political prowess. And look where that got us with the election of Kamala Harris into office. We didn't win. And sometimes I ask myself if more resources or if more things were done.
You didn't win. But guess what? Because majority of women didn't vote for her. You know, women, a lot of women actually voted for Trump, right? So even in your utopia, women don't even agree with other women. Even in your utopia, you cannot force other women to agree with you. This insane ideology that this stupid ass woman has is honestly the exception, not the rule. She's in the minority. Now, to be honest, I wish she would do it, right? I wish women like this would buy a town, buy a city, buy an island, and do it. I'm like, God damn. I really wish. You know what? If I could like snap a finger, right? Snap a finger. I would wish that, you know what? I would give women an island, teleport all women that thinks like this, every single woman that thinks like this onto that island, right? Teleport every single woman that think like this onto that island. Boom. Pick your ruler, pick your leader, and start building your world. Start building your utopia. I would love to see how you would do it. I wish there was like a show, right? I think this is a great idea, right? If there was a producer out there, right? Take all the feminist women, right? Or at least let's say 1,000, 2,000 feminist women. 2,000 feminist women. Put them on an island. Give them a year, 2 years, couple years, whatever. And let it go. Let's see how they, will go about things. Let's see how they will create their nation. Right? And then you can import more feminist women onto that island. I really would love to see that. I think that would be a fun show. I think that would be a fun show. I would stream that show.
Done to actually galvanize voters towards Kamala Harris instead of focusing on this women empowerment that is like a Barbie movie, would we have actually won that election? See, sometimes fiction can make us feel like we're actually gaining power when in reality we're still stuck where we are. Thousands of years later, women are still oppressed. And while yes, that is changing, it's not changing fast enough. In fact, on planet Earth, we have a growing male population that has expressed.
Steve, I agree. The best thing we can do is walk away and vote with our wallets. I don't hate any of them, but they must learn, just like men have the hard way. I agree, right? One of the things where I support is that we don't need to hate women. No. Let them live in their delusion. I've said this before. Men, focus on yourself. Focus on your life. Focus on your happiness. Focus on your contentment. Focus on bettering yourself and travel. Travel the world, right? Travel the world. There are not every place, not every corner on this earth is filled with delusional women. Not every, okay? Maybe a lot, but not every. Leave these women to their own insane devices.
Interest in hating women, raping women, and maybe even killing us. So we don't have time to sit in front of movie screens and watch our fiction play out when we could be doing these things in real life. And you see this even when it comes to consumption, like the beauty of an Hermes bag or a Chanel purse. You as a woman ascertain resources, something that has been kept away from you for thousands of years, and your first thing to do is to go give it to some luxury brand, to consume some product, to live out this fantasy.
Here's a woman telling you, oh, women, don't consume. Don't buy things. Yes, women like this are toxic. Women like this are toxic. And it's like she's telling, oh, women, stop consuming. And stop buying things. Stop buying luxury.
Fantasy, dream, soft life. And the reality is projects like Project 25 are still coming for every single right that we fought for as women. So we have to get...
What right? What? I'm so tired. I'm tired of women like this. This is why I said, right? This is why you call out the feminists. You call out the feminists. What right are people, are your rights? What right is being taken away from you? Sounding like MGTOW if she's. This is the thing. Women like this, they sound no different than men. They sound no different than the men they hate. She might as well be MGTOW. Like you could close your eyes, right? Close your eyes and just imagine if this was a man, right? Everything she said, switch it up. She's literally MGTOW, or she's literally like Hitler, or any terrible man she hates. Literally, this is a woman that is no different than all the men she hates.
Out of the dream consumptive fantasy and take action in real life. You are no longer watching movies of your liberation. It's time for you to live those things in real life. And yes, there is real blood and sacrifice, but that doesn't mean that we have to have a revolution tomorrow. Our true revolution is us realizing that we are the change that we need to see in the world. So if you're ready to join a community that is focused on taking real action, the real liberation of women, the real achievement.
Nope, she's definitely a misandrist. She is definitely a misandrist.
Of a matriarchy in this lifetime, go ahead and click the link in my bio and sign up for my Discord. When I said we...
Go ahead. You can check her Discord. This is her right here. Ace Organic, right? This is her. I'm not trying to, send people to hate on her, but Building a better planet, Earth. Join the Gentle Women Discord. Ace Organic, the Gentle Women. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I don't know what to say. Just showing her insanity, her hypocrisy. This is a thing where I said it, okay? Do what you want, right? You want to build your utopia in your mind, go for it. You want to build your utopia, you want to build your fantasy in your mind, do it. Because here's my thing, and honestly, you can actually actions, right? Actions. You can do actions, right? You can buy a town, buy a city, buy an island, right? 10,000 of you, right? 100,000 of you, whatever, right? Chip in and pay for a town, pay for a city, pay for an island. You could do that right now, right? In the capitalistic world, you can do it right now. Yes, so we can get to Mars. Exactly. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I just, this is the thing where I'm just tired of women like this. I'm tired of women like this that they don't see their hypocrisy. They don't see that they're no better than the men they hate. They're no better, right? They like I said, they sound like the men. They sound like the men they hate. They sound like the red pill men, or not the red pill man, right? The incel men. They sound like the men that she's talking about on, on these, really terrible forums, right? Really, just honestly terrible. What do you guys think? You could probably ask your favorite AI what would happen. Oh, I wonder. Let's see. Let's play this game. Okay, so as chat GBT, if 90% of men suddenly disappear, the effects would be unprecedented and society altering. Below is a clear, realistic breakdown of what would likely happen short term and long term, based on demographics, economics, biology, and history. Immediate effects, weeks to months. Population shock. Population and shock. The population would instantly drop by 45%. Most infrastructure would fail due to loss of labor in power plants, water treatment, transportation, construction, agriculture. Emergency service would be overwhelmed, right? Economic culture. Men make up 90% of construction worker, 85 to 95% of electricians, plumbers, and miners, 90% of military and firefighters. Supply chains would break, stock markets would crash, GDP would collapse globally. It would likely trigger a global depression worse than anything in history. Security and order, military and defense, national defense would be crippled. Borders would be impossible to defend. Organized crime and armed groups could gain power. Like law enforcement, which is, I don't know, right? If 90% of men, I mean, I guess the few men that would still be here would probably be, could be terrible men, right? 90%, 10% of men, right? Police forces would shrink dramatically. Response times would increase. In regions, local militias or community defense would emerge, right? Reproduction, survival of species. Reproduction would become the single most urgent issue. Governments would likely preserve remaining men as a critical reproductive resource. That's interesting. right? Governments would preserve the remaining men. Create regulated reproduction programs. Invest heavily in sperm preservation in cloning and artificial wombs. Even with technology, population recovery would take centuries. Let's see, social and cultural changes. Women would take over all remaining roles of necessity. Physical labor would be automated aggressively. Aggressive automation. Society would be more communal, less competitive. Okay, I don't know how great that would be. Relationships, monogamy would become rare, or monogamy would disappear. Remaining men would be extremely high social value. Okay. Traditional dating norms would collapse. Long-term war, decades, centuries. Many nations would fail entirely. Smaller, stable societies would survive. Technology would regress in some areas, but advance rapidly in automation, AI, biotechnology. Okay. Greater emphasis on stability, cooperation, and risk reduction. I don't know how great that is. War between nations would likely decrease due to lack of manpower. Okay. Humanity go extinct? Unlikely, but severely diminished. Humanity would survive if remaining men were protected. Technology filled labor gaps. Reproduction was tightly managed, but civilization, as we know it, would permanently change. Bottom line, 90% of disappearance of men would cause economic and infrastructure collapse, national security failure, reproductive crisis, forced reinvention society. It would be one of the most catastrophic events imaginable, even on par to global extinction level disasters, short of total annihilation. Interesting. Interesting. Right? There's a bad TV show. Oh yeah, and I know that's a few of them, right? I know that. Then in a few decades, Mars would invade Earth and win. Yep, they would start launching nukes. Yeah. Eddie, I Googled it and that was the answer. Yep. If men left Earth, humanity would face immediate societal collapse. Infrastructure failure. Yep, exactly. Funny thing is, hateful women like her would send her to Mars. Yeah, I don't know if women. This is a thing where it's like, it's kind of funny that it's people expect, I don't know, all women to just love each other automatically, which I find it honestly idiotic, right? You expect all women to love each other automatically, which is honestly ridiculous. I think that's a ridiculous thing. So, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Yes, I read I read the comic, right? Why the Last Man, the comic. Great comic. I love it. I read that. It was interesting. It was interesting. I really did. All right, let's watch more feminist mumbo jumbo, right? It's true that we all know it's a very wide wipe themselves. Who would wipe themselves out? Viking goblet. Yes, exactly. All right, let's watch some more. She thinks all women are good. And yeah, that's insanity, right? That's insanity. All right, let's check out more feminist mumbo jumbo. All right, let's check out this craziness.
Korean women are dedicated to erasing Korea from the planet because listen to this. I will not give birth to a life that will discriminate against my gender. My own flesh and blood must not become a blade turned against me. If the world born from my body oppresses me, I will not let that world exist. This is the declaration from the Korean feminists, and they are dead ass serious. You know, they started the 4B movement where they rejected marriage, childbirth, dating schmacks with men. And now Korea has the world's lowest birth rate and is indeed projected to be the first country disappearing from the planet due to population decline. You know what? You gotta respect Korean women's vision. Korean women are dedicated to erasing Korea from.
Okay. Disappear. To be all honesty, I can't wait. I can't wait for all, because this is a thing where, imagine this, okay? Imagine a world where all these feminists don't want to give birth to the next generation of women. Great. So they will die out. The men that, you know what, can't reproduce with the women around them, guess what they would do? Go outside of the country. Passport, bro. Passport, bro, right? They will go outside of the country. Fine. You don't want to, you don't want to reproduce? Awesome. No one's going to force you. We will leave. Let the feminist women die out. Let the feminist women die out. Okay? Lonely women going crazy. Women going their own way. Wig towel. Exactly. Let them go their own way. Let them die out. I have no complaints of that. USA better close that base in Seoul, South Korea, and get them troops out of there before North Korea. Again, yeah, you know what? This is the thing where South Korea dies out. Guess what? North Korea will probably take over South Korea. Right? At least the land. So
I saw a creator on here start off her video by saying that Korean women are dedicated to wiping Korea off of the planet because of the 4B movement. And that just like really rubbed me the wrong way because it completely negates the nuance as to why South Korean women got to this point. It honestly creates a really harmful stereotype when it comes to Korean women because it still pushes the responsibility of the declining birth rate back to us. Because let's think about it. If it was really a Korean women issue, wouldn't you think that North Korea would also have the lowest birth rate or the second lowest birth rate?
it is a feminist issue. I've said this before. Feminism is a poison on society. Any country that is affected by feminism, right? So far from the data, right? I mean, there might be some counter data, but yes, the septum ring. It's quite funny. Any country that is affected by feminism, birth rate is decreasing, right? Birth rates are low. Any country that is affected by feminism, their birth rate is low. It is what it is. I said this before, let them die. Let them die out, right? The women that are feminists, great. Let them die out. Travel the world. Go find a woman that is not poisoned by feminism. Go find women that are not poisoned by feminism.
Of content completely fails to recognize that the birth rate is declining overall in the world. There's a downward trend. It fails to look at how accelerated capitalism also makes detrimental side effects to collectivist culture. I hate this idea that Korean women aren't having kids just to spite men. It's also because they understand the implications of bringing the next generation into a society like this. Also, there's so many misconceptions and fallacies that a lot of non-Korean people have been pushing about the 4B movement that maybe I will do a separate video on that because I do think I have to do further research on it. But honestly, there's just so many things that need to be taken into consideration and talked about when talking about the declining birth rate in Korea. And it's so much fucking deeper than Korean women being dedicated to wiping Korea off the planet. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I saw a creator.
Well, I mean, to be honest, yes, they're not dedicated. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that South Korea is also, facing economic issues, overworking or underpaying, stuff like that. So, yeah, there's more to it than the 4B movement. But again, just let these women die out. I've said this before, right? I mean, like, I wish more men, in my honest opinion, right? In my honest opinion, I wish more men would not go MGTOW, but just go passport, bro. Right? That's my opinion. My own opinion. Men can do whatever they want, right? Men can do whatever they want. In my opinion, I'd rather see good men, like I said, good men, do passport, bro. Do passport, bro, instead. That's my opinion, okay? I'd rather see good men do passport, bro, than go MGTOW. Because, to be honest, right, good men need to be passing down their genes. In my opinion, good men need to be passing down their genes, passing down their influences, passing down their ideology. That's my opinion. Okay. Now, we can all do whatever we want. I know plenty of good men are going MGTOW. You know, it is what it is. I just believe good men should be passing down their genes. That's how I feel about it. Exactly. I 100% MGTOW until you work on yourself, then go passport pro. Work on yourself. Be the best version of yourself mentally. Be the best version of yourself physically. Be the best version of yourself financially. Okay? Don't be traumatized by these feminist delusional women. Okay? Work on yourself 100%. I 100% agree.
You know the world isn't a great place to bring new lives into anymore when Chinese people stop having kids. Korea now has the world's lowest birth rate. China is right behind them. Sure, the economy is bad, everything expensive, everybody's stressful, but nothing stops Chinese from having kids. Not during famine, not during wartime, not even under one-child policy. We were having more kids than we do now because back then women do not have an option. We do not have the equal access to education and careers, and for most of the traditional Chinese family were raising the daughter to marry someone else. So motherhood and marriage is the only option for women. But now we are freer than ever to pursue higher education, have our own career, money, place. We have hobbies, female friendships. When we come back home, the house is clean and peaceful. Why would any woman waste her time, energy raising a man child? And another thing is women are leveling up so quickly right now. I can't speak for other countries, but I see in China, women on average are way more impressive than men. Men are staying exactly where they are, if not going backwards. It's almost impossible for a guy to provide for his whole family. It needs both of the parents to work. And when the wife comes back home, the husband still expects her to clean, to cook, to take on the emotional labor. Like, who wants kids? You know the world isn't...
I mean, I don't really know Chinese men, so I just find conflicting information, right? Some women say Chinese men they cook and clean a lot. Others say they don't. So it is what it is. I don't really know Chinese people like that. So whatever. To be honest, here's the thing where I've done plenty of videos on, the leftover women clamoring to find men, right? Complaining that they can't find men. So here's the conflicting viewpoints, right? So if what she says, this is the thing where I don't care, right? I've said this before. It is fine. You want to be single and childless? Awesome. More power to you. I hope more women like this go MGTOW, right? Or go WigTOW, right? Like Evil Eddie coined, right? I hope more women like this will go their own way. You want to be single and childless for the rest of your life? More power to you. I hope the best for you. I really do. I hope the best for you. The problem is a lot of women like this, they complain. Either they become single mothers, which I vehemently disagree and hate, or they just complain in their older age. I can't find a man. Where are the men at? Where are the good men at? Or so on and so on. Right? Be consistent. Be constant with your logic. Excuse me. If you don't want a man, please don't want a man for the rest of your life. These women are honestly absolutely disgusting, in my opinion. They're tiresome. They really are. I've done a few women on. I've done a few. Sorry, I've done a few videos on this Chinese feminist. Right, she is absolutely annoying. She's absolutely annoying, but she's perfect. Content for for me. So, but she's absolutely the bottom of the barrel women. But all the more power to her. All the more power to her. You know what? She wants to stay. She wants to promote feminism. She wants to stay single and childless and not be with men. Great. I promote it. I promote it more than her, right? I support it more than her. I hope that women don't regret their decisions. That's it. So all the more power to her, right? The ridiculousness of it. Give me a minute. Let me get some more water. Man, I really wish I collected silver. Right? I really wish I collected silver a while ago. I really think it's cool to collect precious metals. I really do. I would love to do it.
Like you are physically strong.
You know, this is a thing where, you know, if you actually listen to these women, right, you will realize all these women are just broken women. They're just broken women. This is why I say life experience for women is a bad thing. Life experience for women is only making them bitter, only making them just worse human beings. Right? It's just making them worse human beings.
Like you are physically stronger than me. If you wanted to, you could kill me.
Don't be scared.
I have been having the thought that I feel so weird saying it. I don't even know how to say it. I'm sorry. You are physically stronger than me. If you wanted to, you could kill me. I would say that you would never do that. But like there is not a 0% chance of that happening either. Like these women who thought their husbands would never did. The reality of that has been weighing on me lately. And I'm scared to talk to you about it because I don't want you to like get the idea to do anything.
Thank you for sharing that with me. That is emotionally powerful and super heavy for you to carry. I have never once had a thought of what my life would be like without you, much less what it would be like to carry something through like that.
Like you are physically stronger than me. If you wanted to, you could kill me.
Don't be scared.
I have been having the thought that I feel so weird saying it. I don't even know how to say it. I'm sorry. You are physically stronger than me. If you wanted to, you could kill me. I would say that you would never do that. But like there is not a 0% chance of that happening either. Like these women who thought their husbands would never did. The reality of that has been weighing on me lately. And I'm scared to talk to you about it because I don't want you to like get the idea to do anything.
Thank you for sharing that with me. That is emotionally powerful and super heavy for you to carry. I have never once had a thought of what my life would be like without you, much less what it would be like to carry something through like that.
Like you are physically.
This is the problem. This is why I say stay away from all this modern day feminist women. They are broken. They are mentally unstable. Imagine waking up from this woman every day where she in her mind she's thinking about you beating her. She's thinking about you abusing her. Imagine waking up to a woman that sees you as something that's disgusting. You are better off not dealing with this emotional instability. Okay? You are better off not dealing with this. It's just, this is tiring. This is honestly exhausting. Okay? And this man is like, thank you for sharing. It's like, your wife in her mind is thinking that you or beat her. It's like she has no trust in you whatsoever. Ingresh, what is up, my brother? What is up? Thank you for being here. I'm good. Hope you're good. Hope you are doing well. I love it that, in the comment section, they're talking about silver and investing. I love it. I love my my chat. I really do. I would walk before I did that. Again, yes, right? I walk away before like it gets to that kind of mindset. It is honestly tiring It is honestly tiring. And I said this, right? A woman like this, she's better off alone. She's better off not with a man. For her own benefit and his, she's better off not being married. Better off not being married. Better off being a forever single woman. I'm sorry. She is better off. Yes, I mean, like, so many people in the comment section is just saying, just leave. It's like, seriously, this is emotionally draining. Emotionally draining, mentally draining being with women like this. And I'm telling you, all these women are just absolutely just tiring.
When I broke up with my ex, I didn't immediately start hating men. I think that's a misconception. I was heartbroken, devastated. I wrote poetry so deep and so raw that when I went back and read it, I was like, who wrote this? I started getting angry at them when I realized I had completely lost myself in hope for love. And I was like, well, I'm never fucking doing that again. And then it comes to light how little their validation really means. And it all just starts to unfold in front of you. And then you're like, then you haven't slept in 3 days. Your eyes are bloodshot. There's red string everywhere. And you have a tinfoil hat on. Or at least that's how society sees you. I don't hate them.
I saw the horror, right? I saw horror. I saw Smile 1. It was okay, right? Smile 1 was okay. I didn't see Smile 2. Yeah, you need to give us a warning before you put land wells on the screen. Yes.
Because it's trendy. I hate them because what they've done to me, what they've done to every woman I know, and what they've done to every woman ever. Realizing the misogyny seeps through every crack and crevice that we have, love, and know. It's depressing. It's really scary, and it sucks. I don't want to hate them. You don't get it. I don't want to. I hate change, and this is a huge change. Realizing I don't want to get married, I don't want to have kids, I don't want any of that is a huge change. But I'd rather realize it here at 23 than at 50 with 3 kids and, a deadbeat husband. So I love y'all. Goodbye. And I broke up.
I wish women like this would go 4B. I wish women like this would decenter men. I wish women like this, I hope she will stay single and childless for the rest of her life. Good for her. Correct. I hope she will stay away from men. I really do. Pretty much every woman you see tonight, I hope they will stay away from men. Because honestly, these women lack the sense of accountability. So the man that broke your heart, you blame all men for it. The man that broke your heart, you blame all men. Makes sense. Guys, last night I offered to pay for my mother's snow shoveler's new blower motor for her truck heater. I asked her for her phone number so I could PayPal her $200. My mother flipped out and said no. Why would your mother say that? Why would your mother say that? You are offering to help your mom. What's wrong with your mom? Yes, I wish they would follow real 4B, not the 4B they think it is. Exactly. Because my mom said I was trying to control her. What the hell is wrong with your mom, Steve? Seriously. Your mom is crazy, Steve. I mean, like, God dang. What is wrong with these women? I mean, like, seriously. This is the thing where women want the villain. Women want the villain. Because without the villain, they cannot be victims. Without a villain, they cannot be victims. Right? If the man was a good man, right? If the man was a good man, how could she go on building her platform on hating men? If this woman was dating, being with good men, how can this woman grift, right? How can she build a platform on hating men? How? She can't. A lot of these women won't have a platform. Some of these modern women should never get together with men and definitely not have children. 100%. 100%. Steve, I'm sorry, my brother. To have such a miserable mom is honestly just terrible.
We are the men now, and we don't need men in our lives. There's a reason women say that if they had children, they would want to be the dad and not the mom. Women relied on men as a means of survival because they couldn't open up their own lines of credit. They couldn't have their own checking accounts. And now we don't need that. We are going to school. We are outpacing men in college degrees. We are outpacing men in workforce participation. We are outpacing men in home ownership. We are the men now.
I swear to God, yeah. If my mom, like poor girl, yeah, can freeze in this weather, I 100% agree.
And we don't need men in our lives unless they are adding to it. Most men are depleting women in relationships. Gone are the days of men simply needing a decent, well-paying job and health insurance to land and keep a wife. Those days are gone because women provide those things for themselves. And men don't have anything else to offer anymore outside of that because that's what they were taught. That's all they had to provide. And now that is no longer enough. We are the men now. And we don't need men in our lives. There's a reason women say that if they had children, they would want to be the dad and not the mom. Women relied on men as a means.
I'm moving this spring. You're moving. These women are broken. Women have way more debt than men. Yeah, women have way more credit debt than men. Yeah, this is the thing. These women are honestly miserable women. Miserable. Absolutely just a miserable group of women. I said this before. I feel you. I said this before. A lot of these women, you know, just this is why I said, right? I don't want to hate on these women because, again, I'm giving these women way too much credit. I'm giving these women way too much power, right? If I hate on them, I'm not hating on them. Great. All the more power to you. I hope that you'll find no man that will add to you, right? I hope so. So you don't have to deal with no man for the rest of your life. Please don't have children. Please don't reproduce.
I've never once met a good man. My entire life, going on almost 32 years, okay? I've never met one genuinely good man. Every single man I have encountered has done something absolutely horrific and minimized it. Every single man that I've encountered is a liar.
100%. Real Rain said it, right? We don't hate them. We hate their beliefs. 100%. It's their belief. I have nothing against women. I don't care. Right? I could care less about women like that. It's more about the delusion, the hypocrisy, the insanity that I hate. That's the lack of accountability. That's what I hate. Right? The hypocrisy. That's what I hate.
Is a perv and does not see women as humans. Every single man that I've ever encountered is so far up the patriarchy's booty butt. They genuinely think that it's okay for them to not grow past the mental age of 12. They genuinely think that having a job is all that they need to do.
Steve, thank you for sharing. You know what? One of the things where I wanted to create this channel is for my brothers to be able to share, right? So this is a safe space, right? This is a space for all of us to share our trials and tribulations. You will have support of the community, right? Because this is a thing where we think that we only allow women, right? Only women can go through shit. No, right? Men go through so much hardship. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the hardship men go through. But I can tell you this. Here, right here, we care. We care. Steve, I'm with you, my brother, right? I'm sorry for your hardship. I'm sorry for, your insane mom. But brother, you have a family here, right? You have people who care. So I'm glad you're moving away from that insanity. Don't let anyone drag your mental down, right? Don't let anyone bring your happiness down. Yes, I mean, women like this is insane.
I have never met a good man. Not my father, I don't consider him a good man. My brothers, really not good men. My ex, baby daddy, not a good man. His dad, horrible man. His two brothers.
Baby daddy? Your baby daddy? This is the thing where this is what I'm talking about, right? I said this. All I wish is that If you are an insufferable feminist, that's all. The only thing I wish, right, is to don't have kids. That is it. Don't reproduce. If you are an insufferable feminist, right? If you're a feminist, great. All the more power to you, right? You could be a feminist all you want, right? 4B, not have kids, decenter men, opt out of dating. Great. Just please don't have kids. You are a miserable woman. Don't reproduce.
One of them is halfway decent, but still don't consider him good. His sister's husband, really shitty. All of my male family members, horrible people. All of my past male colleagues, all of my male instructors, professors, all of them are fucking horrible. Horrible. There is no such thing as a good man. And if you think you're a good man, please explain why.
Man alive. Okay, damaged. This is how you spot the damaged goods. Listen, you got some daddy issues, honey? Let's just be honest, right? Does it not seethe out of her like there's something going on with the dad and the brothers are no good so guys, if she's got the weird, like every guy in her life has been terrible, honey, is the problem you? Let's just all say aloud what we're thinking. Could it possibly?
Exactly what Steve said, right? What's the one thing in common? Her, right? If all the men in her life is terrible, she's the common denominator. She's the common denominator. She's the one who attracts all the men, right? Besides for her family. She attracts all the men. Okay? She attracts all these men.
Possibly be that if your dad's not a good guy and you never ever met a good guy and your brothers aren't good guys and your sister's husbands are, all of them are bad guys, and you never met a good guy in your life ever, your colleagues that are men aren't good guys, could it just possibly be that the problem is you? Imagine having this level.
Yeah, I love this, right? I love a woman that sees the importance of men and respect and love the men in her life. Right? Red Door says, today it was -2. Wind chill minus 12. My husband went to the store, brought wood in, and put in a new battery in the tractor. I think most men are awesome. Yes, we can agree. There's plenty of bad men. But in my opinion, most men are good. Most men are good men. Right? I mean, it's like, we don't need to say, we can all agree that there are bad people out there. No one is discounting that, but to say that there are no good men, or most men are bad, or 90% of men need to disappear is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. All right? It's like, honestly, it's discredit the human mind, the human spirit. It's just honestly disgusting, in my opinion.
Where you don't self-reflect and you don't say, ooh, could it be me, something I'm doing? Honey, who are you picking, right? Is there something wrong with you, right? Are you picking just trashy guys? Like, I mean, there are trashy guys, right? Guys in the chat, you know that. There are deadbeat guys. There are guys that aren't stand up. We showed that guy that was looking to get, he had like 5 kids and he just wanted somebody else to pay the bills for him. I mean, these guys do exist. Is it you, though? Are you just picking like the worst of the worst? Because maybe there's something wrong with your judgment? It can't be that every guy she's ever encountered in her life, though, is bad, right? She says, oh, the pervs and these women they have a false sense.
And I said this, right? I've said this. Toxic people attract toxic people. If everyone in her life, every man in her life is a bad man, there's a high likelihood that she's a bad woman. There's a high likelihood that she's a bad woman.
Of self, where they think they're incredible, amazing, God's gifts to humanity, and then all guys are evil. So I want to just point out 2 more things. Number 1, there's no self-awareness in a lot of these modern women. They will not look in the mirror and say, is it me? Am I doing something to make this situation what it is? What is my role in the downfall of this relationship? Do I need to apologize? God forbid. Women never apologize. You know it. So there's something wrong.
Yeah, it's cold here too, right? I mean, like, it snowed a bit today. It snowed. Made the roads icy.
There. Also, never if you, let's just take this down a notch because this one is really nuts. But even if she says, let's say she's had 4 boyfriends and she's like, oh, they were all terrible. They were just the worst men ever. I was so wrong. Something's wrong there. I'm telling you, if she can trash
Never. To be honest, I can't stand HOAs. I would never want to live in an HOA. I'm sorry. I don't care what the benefit is. Having someone control how I live, control my house, make rules for me? No, I don't think so. I'm not going to put myself through that shit.
everybody that she's ever dated and there's nothing nice to say, or first of all, what is she talking about her exes? They do that. So you know it's going to happen. You're going to be sitting there, a dinner you just paid for, and she's going to be talking about some guy she dated, and you're going to be like, dear God, how do I get out? Right? It's going to happen. But if she starts trashing everybody, like everybody did her dirty, okay, no, next. Okay? That's just not the case. We all know that in relationships, things happen, and we all know, if we're being honest with ourselves, that we play a role in how it lands, right? Maybe it's somebody else's fault 90%, but there's 10% that we could have done better, right? If we're being honest with ourselves, some women don't do that, okay? You will never get a good man is the message. She's only 31 years old. Imagine being 31 years old and having this attitude. And then you meet her and she's rancid on the inside and wants to know why you're not like, oh, you want to get married, honey? I mean, really, what guy is this woman going to attract? What guy? And that's what I'm telling these ladies. Look in the mirror. If you're man hating, you're misandrous by nature. You're saying there's no good men. You're saying all men are pervs and cheaters and liars. And my dad is bad, and my brothers are bad, and the coworkers who are male are bad. What kind of guy is going to want to spend a good guy is going to want to spend 5 seconds with you? You sound like a nightmare, a man-hating nightmare.
And that's what I said, right? A lot of these women don't realize that you are attracting the men that you are complaining about because you have an ugly personality. You are ugly yourself. That's why you're attracting ugly men, toxic men. You're toxic yourself. This is why you attract terrible men. You are damaged. Honestly, damaged women are going to just attract damaged men.
I think one of the easiest ways to see how much men don't actually see women as people is to look at widowers. I think one of the easiest ways to see how much men don't actually see women as people is to look at widowers. Do you know how fast those men remarry just to have another warm body in their bed and someone making warm meals for them? Do you know how fast they will find another woman to parent their own children because they need a mother? And so it doesn't matter that they are that child's actual parent, and it doesn't matter if the woman they find is not that kid's actual mother, because it's all the same to them, because women mother. So as long as that woman is a woman, it doesn't matter if she's actually that child's mother, as long as she's a woman. Do you see how diabolical that is? I think one of the easiest ways to see...
The stupidity of that. To, one, blame all men, or majority of men, for a small percentage of men. Fine. But to use the logic that you don't think that kids need a 2-parent household is honestly also stupid. 2-parent households is the optimal scenario to produce good children, to produce good future adults. Honestly, just the low IQ. Her ass, it offends. Yeah.
Things I do that probably give men the ick. I'm not aware of it because they don't post videos about me, so I'm just guessing. Number one, the fact that I keep saying that I don't need men or that I hate men. First of all, such a valid excuse, and I truly believe that a really emotionally intelligent, self-aware, not trashy man would not mind it. But at the same time, because I keep saying it, I also understand that it's a little bit annoying. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up, you're really negative. So that I'm pretty sure is really unattractive about me. That's number one. Number two, I'm the biggest oversharer in the world. Like, everything that happens between us, everyone knows. I'm the kind of person that tells all my friends, all my followers. I make story times about it, videos about it, because I don't see a reason to hide, okay? My problem is everyone's.
Okay, well let's break it down, right? So one, she likes to spout that she hates men, that she don't need men, and you think you attract good men. Oh, smart, intelligent men will look past that. Stupid. Second, she shares everything, all personal things to the world. Yeah. Western Indian. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. Again, this is modern day women are just using men for content.
Problem. So, as a man,
Using men they date for content.
that can be such a turn off though. Like, shut the fuck up. But at the same time, I truly believe that if I'm going through something shitty, everyone needs to be aware of it and everyone needs to learn from my mistakes. But honestly, what an ick. I completely get it. Number 3, I lie a lot. Not necessarily lie about like big things or like tell white lies to get away from something, but I lie for fun. Like sometimes I lie about my birthday. Sometimes I lie about something. I'll just lie and I forget about it. Again, this lie is not to impress them or anything. I'm not a pathological liar that that I do it with malicious intent. I do it for fun and then I forget to say that I lied. So that could really
Lying for fun. Great. Gaslighting, right? Or manipulating men. In the sense that this is a thing where you lie, you say your birthday is this. Hypothetically, she lied, say her birthday is this. A man thinks that this is your birthday, and then when it's actually your birthday, you get mad that he doesn't remember your birthday. When honestly, he thought your birthday was this. Sounds an amazing woman.
give them the ick. Number 4, I truly believe that men are useless if they're not useful. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a riddle, I guess. But if you're not absolutely useful to me, like useful, you are completely useless and you do not have.
I find it really funny, right? When men don't date women that are useful, right? When men don't date women that are useful, women complain that men use women for labor, right? Cooking and cleaning, emotional labor, all this stuff. Women will complain that men are using women for their labor, right? For their usefulness. Yet women wouldn't date men if they're not useful. Women are no better than men. Women are no better than the men they hate. She wants a servant. Exactly. She wants a servant. She wants a tool. She wants an ATM. She wants someone she can use.
To be in my life. And I understand from a guy's perspective, which is, why do I have to be useful? You have to love me, like, regardless. No. But I get you. I get why that would be a turn off to you. Number 5, I laugh really loud. Like, I don't have the feminine laugh. I'm really loud and I'm really annoying. I get that as well. I'm an annoying person. I do think that I'm acquired taste. You either like me or you don't. And if you don't like me, I'm fucking irritating. And if you like me, chances are that you really like me. This applies to friendship as well. I don't think
I'm impressed that she's self-aware a bit, right? I can say that.
anyone can just be neutral with me. So yeah, I'm really annoying, and I say very out of pocket things because that's my love language. It's making people uncomfortable. What an ick. Like, that's totally not fair.
Ingrid said, I can tell she's annoying based on what she's saying. I agree. She's annoying. It's more like she's tiring, right? This woman, the thing she's saying, she sounds like a chaotic person. She's not someone that will bring you peace. She was someone that brings you headache. She thinks she's funny. Yeah. Oh God, a woman that thinks they're funny. Yeah. They're a headache.
Feminine. Next one, I keep bringing up my past all the time. Like, I live in the past and I worry about the future constantly. I'm not like this with any other aspect of my life. Like, I'm super chill with my job, with my life. Like, I'm the least stressed person everywhere else. But when it comes to like a relationship, I get really stressed because I'm constantly thinking if I'm wasting my time. And whatever a guy does, I'm always like, my ex did this, so you're fucking me over, right? You're fucking me over. And the thing is, I don't even feel bad about it because most of the time they are actually fucking me over. So it's like I look at patterns and I'm right most of the time. But the off chance that someone is actually genuine with me, I understand that it's a turn off. Okay, it's a turn off, but I'm sorry, I really can't do anything about it. Secondly, I constantly ask, like, I'm really annoying with intent.
And do you wonder why body count is an issue with women? Right? Exhibit A, right? A woman that has been damaged multiple times by her choices. She chose these men, right? A woman that has a high body count, a woman that has a lot of life experience. We've seen today. We've seen multiple women today, right? That has been honestly mentally damaged by the life they lived, by the life they chose, right? These women have been damaged by the life experiences they essentially have chose.
And what do you want from me? What do you want from me? What do you want from me? I'm not the type that's like, let's go with the flow. Like, really not like that. I'm just like, what is happening? What do you feel about me? I need to know right now. And it's like, if I don't have clarity, I'm losing my fucking mind and I'm making their life miserable and I get so moody. So fucking annoying, you know, I get it. So yeah, if there is more that pisses people off, I will come and I will admit it here, but I'm really not that great. Things I do that probably,
I guess, you know, the self-awareness is a good thing, I guess.
Being in my comments saying if we focus on ourselves in our 20s, nobody's gonna want us because we're gonna be too old. The gag is we don't want y'all no more. That's the point of the video. That old school saying applied when y'all were providers, okay? We were taught at a young age to secure a family and a husband for stability only. Please don't think women's primary goal is to have a man and have a family. That is back in the day when you guys were head of household. However, now we are head of household. And to be honest, y'all not too fun to be around. Y'all not that cute or aesthetically pleasing. As women, we are the financial stability. That's why we're not too pressed on.
As women, you are the financial stability. Yet women carry a lot of debt. Women use a lot of money. Yet you are the financial stability, not the draining of finances. Interesting.
Being with men right now and having kids, how would that benefit us? If anything, we're going to take on more responsibility in the household, and we also are going to have to take time off to bear children. So until y'all go back to being the providers, I guarantee you, y'all are not on our priority list. Until y'all able to take care of y'allselves and the family, leave us alone.
Baby, who hurt you? Who broke your heart? Who made you not believe in men anymore? Who made you not believe in love anymore? Who told you that you don't need a man anymore? You can do bad all by yourself. You don't need kids. You don't need family. You don't need unity. You don't need community. Like, who told you that? Who hurt you that bad? I tell y'all this all the time. When people make videos like this,
I've heard of that, right? The maid with benefits? That's interesting.
They take time out of their day to come online, set up a camera to record, and to make a video like this. You have to understand that's where they're operating from. They're operating from pain. They're operating from hurt. And they come on here to get people to validate how they feel. And while there may be some women that are like, yes, girl, yes, do your thing, there are also going to be other women who are saying, no, I need my husband. No, I need my family. I'm happy to have a husband. I'm happy to have a man. I don't want to be alone by myself. I don't want to be punching the clock for the next 20 years, giving my life and my love to my job. I want people that I can sow seeds into. I want kids that I can raise. I want a husband that's going to be a provider, a husband who is going to protect me. I want that for myself. But when you have people like this who are operating from hurt, operating from pain because someone did something to them, it's sad to see. And baby, listen, if you need some life coaching to work through whatever you've been through, hey, hit the link. I got you.
Stop grifting. I hate fucking coaches. I really do. I hate coaching. I hate these coaches. These coaches, they're just grifting. Stop it. Let these women die out. Let these women die out. Keep these women single. Keep them single. Let them die out.
I'm seeing so much content on this app about how women's standards for men are raising so quickly because women don't feel like they need men anymore. Something I've been thinking about a lot recently is how, yes, a lot of this shift is economic.
Yeah, I hate these coaches, right? You're just grifting. You are fake. you don't care. You don't care. You just want to make money. You just want to make money off of these mentally unstable people.
Like women don't need a man to financially provide for them
Villain
anymore.
eyebrow.
We can have a credit card, we can have a job, we can have our own apartment. But I actually think the bigger and the more interesting part of this shift is the ideological shift and the shift in our collective consciousness as women. Because I think about my mom's generation, I think about a lot of women that I grew up around. A lot of them on paper could have left their husbands. They had the financial resources, they had college degrees, they had PhDs. Some of them were more educated than their husbands. Some of them were making more money than their husbands. But they were still trapped in the ideology of, I need a man to survive. I need a man to be accepted socially and in my community. And so leaving my husband or being alone is not an option. Again, I think the more important shift than actually the economic empowerment is the ideological empowerment. Is our generation now feeling that we don't need to subscribe to the old dogmas, the old ideologies, things that were put on us by religion, society, patriarchy, right? It's very much in men's interest to make us think that we cannot leave them no matter what. And as the collective consciousness of women shifts, I think it's creating this really interesting feedback loop. It's like women realize that we literally can leave, like you can go down.
Captain Palsy, what is up? This is a thing where, yes, women, this is a thing where, because women are making money, they think they have power. Great, right? I mean, it's pretty much a masculine mindset, right? Fine. Great. You have money. You can, you have everything yourself. Cool. Stay single and childless. Please. Stay single and childless. I said this. This is where I promote this, right? My brothers, focus on yourself, right? Focus on bettering yourself and then travel the world. Travel the world. Stop dealing with these women. Let these women stay single. Let these women stay single.
To the courthouse, file for a divorce, walk away, break up with that man, get your own apartment, move out. You can do all these things. You are not trapped in a relationship. As more women are feeling this, men feel the impact of this. This is the loneliness epidemic that we're talking about that is now hitting men. And I think it's finally starting to trickle down to,
you know, that this whole loneliness epidemic thing, women are also experiencing it, right? The same study also shows women are experiencing high levels of loneliness, high level of depression, right? Women are experiencing high level of depression. More women than ever are on antidepressants. More women than ever before are on some form of mental medication. So women aren't like experiencing a boom of happiness and greatness.
is men finally needing to, instead of gaslighting and trying to brainwash women into feeling that we have to stay with them, we have to be married, we have to have kids. That brainwashing is clearly not working anymore. So the final step in the feedback loop is men actually seeking support and seeking a way out of this patriarchal thinking that really hurts them as much as it's hurting women, right?
Oh, yo. I definitely want to do a video on the financial celibacy. My brothers, 100%, don't deal with these women. Do not pay for these women. Go 50-50. She has to pay. Do a walking date. Do a low investment date. Financial celibacy. These women don't deserve your money. They need to prove yourself. I love it, right? The financial celibacy, I love that movement. This is the thing where men are fighting back. Men are fighting back. You want to be your strong, independent self? You don't need no man? Great. Passport, bro. Right? You want men to prove themselves to you? Great. Financial celibacy. Men are fighting back. Men aren't letting this shit slide. You're not going to use me, right? You're not going to use me and abuse me. You're not going to treat me like shit. No, I'm good, right? Well, the drizzle, exactly. Again, men are wising up. They're not dealing with this anymore.
Going to therapy, them seeking resources, them finding community among other men and starting to talk about their feelings, talk about how do they grow and improve from an emotional standpoint and become better partners, better fathers, better members of a community. And starting to see this larger picture start playing out, yes, it's the very early days, but I do feel like it creates a lot of hope and optimism, at least for me. I'm seeing so much content on
why are more women choosing to stay single from a couples therapist of 25 years? And these days, I see a lot more men bringing their wives into counseling because their wives are deciding to leave and the men don't want that to happen. So that's been an interesting.
You know, one of the things where I want more men to understand, if your wife wants to leave, let her. Let her. If your wife wants to leave, let her. Improve yourself. Go passport, bro. Travel the world. Your wife wants to leave, let her leave. Do not hold on to women that don't want you. Do not hold on to women that don't want you.
Definitely some of it is just obvious, right? In the year I was born, women weren't allowed to have credit cards. So, I mean, a lot has changed. So women can have credit, they can have loans, they can have jobs that support the family, everyone that they need to support. They're more educated now. In our day-to-day, we don't live in a society where women need a man to protect them every day. Women all over are raising children on their own. So they don't need a man to raise their children. They don't even need a man to have their children these days, right? And they're building communities.
You still need a man to have children, right? I mean, like, sperm doesn't just appear out of nowhere.
They're traveling the world. I'm on all these travel blogs. I'm traveling right now. And so many women are doing that on their own. They're taking that into their own hands. They're building community.
I find this funny, right? She says she's a couple therapist with no man. Grifter. Just another grifter. We have these coaches, these relationship coaches that are single. We have this couple therapists that are single. There's a whole bunch of grifters.
They're building businesses. They're becoming influencers. So these are things that typically you would need a man for, and women have evolved to this, and they haven't let go of their nurturing capabilities. They're also primarily the ones that take care of the children and take care of the family. So what I think has happened is men have not evolved to this. And I know this is going to piss some people off. And
that's a lie. Studies have shown that, there's a drastic rise in actually men being more present in their children's lives, being more nurturing. There's a rise in men being more domestic. Studies have shown that there's a dramatic rise in men being more domestic, men being more in their children's lives.
definitely there are men out there that are amazing, have evolved to this. Generally speaking, I think men are still a bit in that role of, well, I provide and I shouldn't have to have emotional conversations with you. I shouldn't have to, connect with you. I shouldn't be told, when I can drink or not. I shouldn't have any kind of equal partnership. You still hear men who are like, I'll babysit the kids tonight. They're your kids too, right? So
yeah, that's why I hate therapy. I hate therapy because honestly, they're delusional themselves. Therapists are no better than you. They're no better than you. So how would they even help you when honestly, they're not better off than you? They're not doing better than you. So how is their advice anything special?
women want, and I think women do typically want to be with someone, but they're burnt out on trying, and they've seen what I'm reporting, that the lack of evolution in men and how they show up in relationships.
Yeah, I don't, because I think that, yeah, you're right. Asians don't do therapy because it's stupid, right? It's stupid. It's validating your wacky emotions. No.
So I think women want someone to do life with, that they want to be with, that enhances their life, that helps them versus causing them more burden, that wants to see and know them, and that they want to know and see their partner. So they want a partner who's available to be known and seen as well. They want someone to sit on the couch and do Netflix with, but also have adventures with, have interesting, stimulating conversations with. They want someone that is a want, that enhances their life. And if that doesn't change, I think more and more women are going to choose to stay out of relationships with men, which I think is really sad. What do you think? Why?
Yeah, what she's saying is not going to promote relationships. What she's saying is not going to promote relationships. What would promote relationships, right, is I would tell men, let them leave. If a woman wants to leave you, let her leave. Focus on yourself. Focus on bettering yourself mentally, physically, financially. Find a woman somewhere else, right? Travel the world. Do not be desperate. I think the worst things for so many men is desperation. So many men are desperate for women. Desperation leads to, honestly, just being a doormat. She wants to leave? Allow her. Let her leave. Move on. As a man, do not be desperate. All right? Go, stand in the way of strength. She wants to leave? Great. More power to her. Let her go. Focus on yourself. Focus on yourself mentally, physically, financially. Travel the fucking world. Travel, right? This is a thing where I promote my brothers. And like Evil Eddie said, go MGTOW until you see some improvements in yourself, right? Go MGTOW until you see improvements in yourself, right? Improvement in yourself mentally, physically, financially, and then go passport, bro. Travel the world. Travel the world. And I'm not talking about having sex with a whole bunch of women. No, I do not promote, just slinging it everywhere. I don't promote that shit. Yeah, I'm gonna be traveling myself, right? In the next, in about 2 weeks or so, I'll be traveling myself. So that's the thing where, that's what I think, right? So definitely when we get to 10K, it's going to be a brother's trip, right? When we get to 10K, we are going to have a brotherhood trip, right? Or anyone, right? A brotherhood, a community trip. So we're definitely going to do that. But like I said, focus on yourself and then travel the world, okay? The world is bigger than women in the West, all right? The world is bigger than your little current sphere. So travel. But what do you guys think? That's the thing where I want my brothers to understand that we don't need to deal with these women. We don't need to deal with these people, okay? Be in your manhood. Be in your masculinity, all right? She wants to leave, all the more power to her. Let her leave. Women want to be single and childless? Great, support it. I support women being single and childless. They want to be going 4B? Great. They want to decenter men? Awesome. They want to opt out of dating? More. I support you. All right? I hope all these women will be single and childless. But what I would do and what I promote my brothers to do, focus on yourself. Gain self-respect, gain self-love, gain improvement mentally, physically, financially, and travel the world. Travel the world, my brothers, right? Travel. All right? Experience the world. You can find a woman that will complete you, that will be your helpmate, right? Your helpmate. Someone that will be there for you. Someone that will follow your lead. Someone that will bring peace into your life, not chaos. All right? That's what I'm saying. So, but what do you guys think? No money's English. You are. I love it. I love that you are stingy with your money. I love it. I love it. Thank you guys for being here tonight. All right. Hope you guys had a good holiday. I hope all my brothers had a good holiday. I love you. Hope my brothers and sisters all had a good holiday. You guys are amazing. All right. Thank you for being with me tonight. Thank you for being with me tonight. You guys are all amazing. English, thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for joining the stream, right? Thank you for checking out. English, I love you, my brother. Evil Eddie, my brother. Thank you. I missed you, so I'm glad to hear that you're good. Right? I'm glad to hear that you're good. Hang out with family and stuff. Awesome. Right? Sism, I love you, my brother. Steve, you're amazing. 8% of women need drama to feel. 100% of men need peace to feel good. I 100% agree. You can find, this is the thing where you can find a woman that will bring you peace, or that will add to your peace. So don't don't be desperate. Don't be desperate. Captain Palsy, I love you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. Artie, I love you. Red Door, my sister, you're amazing. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my sister. Sorry. Thank you for being here. All right. Anyone else? Big Bars, I love you, my brother. Thank you for being here. I love you. I love you. I think that's it for tonight. I think that's all the shout outs. Real Rain. Yes, Real Rain. I love you. I love you. Thank you for being here. All right. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. I gave it around 99% love, peace. Yes. Yes. No, I love you, Eva Eddie. I hope you guys have a good holiday, right? I hope you guys have a good holiday, right? You guys are all amazing. Right? I love you guys, right? Nah, Real Rain. Thank you. Real Rain was here. Red Door, my sister. Thank you for being here. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. All right. For everyone else, please check out my other videos. Comment if you can. Like it. Please like. If you haven't subscribed, which I'm pretty sure you guys have, but if you haven't, please subscribe. But yeah, that's it for tonight. You guys are amazing. All right. Love you guys. Later. Have a good night.